What's up? This is your man Dre Mack, and in this video, I'm going to go over the definition of colorism, race swap, and why everybody was kind of mad at Aaron Pierre taking a role of Jon Stewart, but nobody had a problem with the race swap of Wonder Man portrayed by Yahya Abdul-Mateen. So I'm going to get into that video right now, but the real question is... Coming from Merriam-Webster's dictionary, colorism is this: prejudice or discrimination, especially within a racial or ethnic group, favoring people with lighter skin over those with darker skin. Alright, now that brings me to Aaron Pierre, who just recently got casted as Jon Stewart in the DCU as the Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Now, to me, I think it was more of a slam dunk casting, for the simple fact is that this man is going to be a Hollywood star. I mean, if you look at him, look at his build, you see him in Rebel Ridge. I mean, damn, he's basically Jon Stewart in Rebel Ridge. You know, no matter how you think about the actual movie or the symbolism of the movie or all of that, you could tell this guy is a major superstar in the making. With that being said, when you look at the comics, you look at, artist interpretation of Jon Stewart, he literally goes not across the color spectrum when it comes to black, but he's not Prince light. You know what I mean? He's about, in some artists, interpretation or depiction, he's about my complexion or darker, but not Michael Blackson dark either. You know what I mean? And I know somebody, a lot of people are saying that he was based off of Sidney Poitier, but also at that same time, everybody was not drawing them to look like Sidney Poitier. You know what I mean? Or there was a colorism, in that color, and I've already made a video and did a live about, the certain depictions of Jon Stewart that's actually not as dark as you think he is, but this always, also brings me to Yahya Abdul-Mateen's, character of Wonder Man, Simon Williams. Why didn't no one have the same smoke for Yahya becoming Wonder Man, who was white in the comics, but yet everybody had a problem, and we were talking about this internal colorism with Aaron Pierre? Let me get into the definition of race swap, and then we'll drive this thing going home with just my commentary and my opinion, what I think on this. Alright, according to the Urban Dictionary, race swapping, or the real definition of race bending, is considered when the race or ethnicity of a character in a story is changed to an ostensibly more palatable or profitable ethnicity. A common practice in Hollywood, where the most coveted roles are frequently given to white actors to play, even if originally the character was a person of color. Aspiring actors of color are marginalized and may have to play race-bent bad guy characters that were originally white. An extended practice in comics and movies and TV show adaptations from comics, novels, and other source materials where fictional characters and historical figures' race are changed. In the past, this is used to happen in the form of Caucasian actors being given the role of black, brown, and Asian characters and historical figures, known today as whitewashing. Nowadays, the trend has shifted dramatically on what is known as blackwashing, where under the excuse of lack of diversity, white characters and historical figures, important and minor, are cast or illustrated in the case of comics and animated shows almost always as Afro-Blacks. Alright guys, so now that we have the full definition of colorism and race bending, aka race swapping, let me talk about both of these actors and why wasn't there a cry far more for one than it was to the other. So I'm gonna start with Aaron Pierre. Aaron Pierre is now getting ready to play Jon Stewart, and everybody had a problem with that. They were saying that Aaron Pierre should have dropped out of the role, that should have went to a man with a darker complexion, a darker skinned black man, so on and so forth, which I can understand because, more or less than not, the artist's interpretation goes from, a brown skinned man, my complexion, all the way down, But I also said nobody had a problem when Denzel Washington played a lighter Malcolm X. Or when you start looking at Chadwick Boseman playing a way lighter Thurgood Marshall in his movie. Nobody had a problem with that because we like the actors. and if I like the actor, then it's not a problem. And with Rebel Ridge, I felt like he was the best choice because number one, he had the hottest movie around. Number two, he's already playing a Marine, and basically, if you're having space cops, there's no better other person to play. And I believe Jon Stewart was a Marine. So there you go. He's already showing you that he could be the Green Lantern in the DCU. Plus, there's more dark-skinned men that are leading men in Hollywood than there are brothers that look like members of Shalimar. So all I'm saying is there is a presence for this guy to be able to make that move, and I don't think it's particular colorism. I believe we start participating in colorism because we feel like he should have been darker. So we start doing the paper brown test on him, but we want the darker brown bag. And that's what we did. But my question was, why didn't we have that same energy for Yahya Abdul-Mateen playing a white Simon Williams in the MCU? Now again, Yahya Abdul-Mateen could have been anybody. He could have been Jericho Drum. He could have been Black Panther. He could have been Blue Marvel. He could have been Night Thrasher. He could have been the new Luke Cage. He could have been anyone. But Marvel decided, because of the lack of diversity, instead of raising up an already existing black character up to prominence with the other white characters and the few black characters that we have, we want to go ahead and we want to race bend this character so we can raise that character up, which absolutely makes no sense. And in a capitalism or a capitalist society, this is how it affects us. Simon Williams gets played by a black dude, right? Everybody starts looking up who the hell Simon Williams is, who the hell this Wonder Man is. We start seeing that he's white. The first thing people start doing when a new Marvel series comes out, they start buying the older comics because people saying, hey, if you want this first edition of Wonder Man being introduced, the price is going to be raised because that character is coming into the MCU. So the price gets raised, the merch gets sold, especially the old merch from the comic book version of that. Who is making all that money off that white character, off the black blood of this actor? Instead of having this actor play a character of color, we're still raising up a white character so they can make money off of. And nobody never sees that. So when I start talking about race-bait characters, especially when it comes to blacks, because of our historical documentation that is going on with black people, especially during the minstrel period, when a lot of white people were on stage in blackface making fun of us. And it wasn't to, actors like Sidney Poitier and Harry Belafonte came along, where we started being treated, more, as actors and real people and not stereotypes. And then you got the black exploitation movement where movies like Black Like Me got made, where it wasn't satire like a Tropic Thunder. They really put a guy in blackface throughout this whole movie, but people forget those movies and stuff like that. So when we start talking about these race-bait characters that Hollywood has been doing for years, even when John Wayne was playing Genghis Khan, I'm one of, is in the lane of saying, hey, let's go ahead and start uplifting these black characters, and why can't Marvel do that? And that is my biggest thing. If we're going to celebrate one, but down someone else for getting a role because he's a little lighter, we need to take a look at ourselves. And we actually have to look at, for one, our historical documentation when it comes to blacks in Hollywood, how we've been undervalued and all of that. And just because white people feel a certain way that black people are not prominent in these white roles doesn't mean they have to race bend the character so we can feel valued. Because what we're doing is that what it looks like to me is that, hey, I would just put black people in white roles and make them feel good instead of putting black people in black roles, or black characters, and then rising those characters up to be on par with the Captain Americas, the Wolverines, the Deadpools, or whoever you want to bring in next. That's what I'm saying. And I think that there's a historical problem with that in Hollywood. And instead of trying to say that we're progressive, what you're doing is you're being digressive, and it's a slap in the face because of all those characters that could be raised up that are black are being suppressed while we're still rising up white people. And you already know we live in a white society that is going to be pissed off, that's going to see their characters that are white now being black, just like how we were pissed off when black people historically, or Asians, or anybody person of color has been played by a white person. So you actually have to know your your history when it comes to this, when it comes to whitewashing and now blackwashing. So this is the reason why you can't get mad at colorism if you're, or if you're happy that Yahya Abdul-Mateen is playing Wonder Man, a white character. But what do you guys think? I know this is a lot to be able to be dumped on you guys, but I want you guys to know the historical documentation that is going on with black people, especially when it comes to race-bait characters and all of this, and how colorism is detrimental to us in certain capacities, because look what it does if it's not taught or understood in a right manner. So what do you guys think? Put it in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about this subject. But of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Where is my outro at? I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.